All right, in this video, we're going to be going over exactly how to use the Elite Algo market structure strategy. And I really like this strategy because it's going to be very simple and very, very effective. Market structure is one of my specialties when it comes to trading. I'm going to show you exactly how to combine that knowledge with Elite Algo to get a killer strategy. So let's get right into it. So with Elite Algo, this is the way we're going to set it up. This is the final picture of what we're going to set it up. I'm going to walk you through and break it down step by step of what you do. So let's take away the charts and we're going to walk you through it. So the first thing you want to do is you want to open up your Elite Algo and your Elite Oscillator. If you don't have Elite Algo, what you want to do is click on the link in the description, and that's going to help you get access to Elite Algo. It's a private indicator, so you have to have access to it specifically so you can use it, and that link is going to get you that access. So click on that and you'll get it. So right now we have the default settings of Elite Algo. You notice that I have the Hikinashi candles open. You want to make sure that you open them by clicking on this indicator here. If you don't see it, you can click on the arrow and it'll pop up right there, Hikinashi. Also, what you want to do is go to your chart settings and unclick the borders. So now that you've done that, your chart looks similar to this. I know I use the dark mode. Some people may use the light mode where there's a white background here. But all in all, it'll look similar to this. Now, this is how we set it up. So we're going to start with the Elite Algo main system first. We're going to go ahead and enable the dashboard and change the size to small. That's the first step. Then we're going to work our way down. And what we actually want to do is we want to unclick the signals, but you still, the show signals, but you still want to use the sensitivity. We're going to actually bring the sensitivity to 1. Then as we go down here, we're going to check the candle colors. You want to make sure you have that checked, and also enable swing highs and swing lows. The setting that I use is 13, and then you want to also uncheck all of the take profit because we're not going to be using that. The trend cloud we want to use, and basically you want to leave the trend cloud as default setting, and then from there that will complete what you do with the Elite Algo. So just make sure you have your colors, candles, and your enable swing high, swing lows. Those are going to be the main components of what you're using with Elite Algo. Also, the sensitivity is very important. So we got that. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the oscillator. We're going to make a few adjustments here. So the first adjustment is we're going to take the period, change to 7, 13, and 21. Actually, 8, 13, and 21. 8, 13, and 21. Want to make it just a little bit less sensitive. And then you're going to change the Elite Stochastic, and we're going to put it on trend mode. So that's going to change the look of the oscillator itself. And this is what you'll get. So right here is actually going to be the completed setup of the Elite Algo market structure strategy. So this is going to be the strategy details, the strategy rules. So with market structure, when it comes to your trading, you want to trade within the trend. The trend in regards to market structure is going to be a collection of higher highs and higher lows. So that's going to be for an uptrend. So you'll see higher highs and higher lows. When I was new, it was very hard to understand where the highs and the lows were, what was considered a high, what was considered a low. So Elite Algo does an excellent job of doing that for you. So with a uptrend, it's going to be Elite Algo. You're going to see the higher highs and higher lows. And that's what you're going to be looking for on an uptrend. On downtrends, you're going to see lower lows and lower highs. So the optimal point for you is to try to trade after a higher low is created for an uptrend. So you got in that point here something similar to that, or trading when there's a lower high present for a downtrend. So after that is completed, that's what we're looking for. So if we take the drawings away, we're going to look just at the Elite Algo Premium, the Elite Algo Oscillator. What you want to look for is those higher highs and higher lows. What we do is we find a higher high, we see that, and then we're waiting for a higher low to form. What you want to see when you're looking for that pullback move, so for a higher low, that's going to be for an uptrend. For a lower high, that's going to be for a downtrend. You want to see the Elite Oscillator change colors along with the candle change colors into the counter trend color. With this being an uptrend, the counter trend color will be red. On a downtrend, the counter trend color will be green. So when the Elite Algo Oscillator changes color, that's letting you know that this pullback is a real pullback, and there's quantifiable data proving that. Because after a real pullback, you want to catch the trend in the continuation form. So after it pulls back, you're trying to catch that next extension move up. So a higher high, wait for a pullback and let this higher low be created. It'll pop up that label when it's confirmed, maybe a candle or two after. Then the very next thing you want to look for, and this will be your entry, is you want to enter when the candle changes color and closes. With that example, it would be this candle, because you have a higher high, a higher low, and then the candle changes colors. So your setup would look like this. You have a stop loss. Your stop loss is going to be below the candle that gets labeled with the higher low. So that would be this candle here. See, it has the lower point there. And you want to do a few pips below that. So we bring that to here. And then for your take profit, I like to go for a 1.5 to 1 for my take profit 1. That's something that I do personally. Some people do a 1 to 1, some people do a 2 to 1. For me, I like the 1.5 to 1 for take profit 1. So when it hits take profit 1, I close out of 50% of my position. When I go to take profit 2, my take profit 2 is 2.5 to 1. Some people like to do the 2 to 1 for take profit 2. I like doing 2.5 to 1. And you can measure it out using this tool that's on Tradingview. So that would be my other 50% of the position. So it's very simple. One thing you want to make sure is that just double checking the order itself is you want the higher high to form and then the higher low to form. You want it in that order. You don't want to just pick random higher highs and lower lows. Like say, for example, let's see if I can find a qualification that doesn't qualify, or a trade setup that doesn't qualify. So you have a higher high here. You see how this creates a lower low. Not only it creates a lower low, it creates a second lower low before the color changes. Now, in this example, it's still a winning trade, and there's other reasons why, like for example, seeing this divergence that helped it become a winning trade. But for most cases, say we go and we find a scenario where that doesn't line up correctly, and you're seeing just me trying to find a scenario that doesn't work, it's pretty hard to do. And that's why this strategy is really, really good. Not a lot of scenarios. You got the lower lows, lower highs, changes colors. That would have been a winning setup, but not a winning trade. A qualifying setup, but not a winning trade. See higher highs, higher lows. That's against the trend. But there's not a lot of losing. Honestly, there's not a lot of losing trades when it comes to this, which is why I like this strategy so much. So maybe I have to go to a different pair to find an example. Let that load up. Find an example where you have a higher high and a lower low, and we're still not finding it. So that's why this strategy is pretty good, because it's pretty hard to find the setup that doesn't work. Now, obviously, it's not going to be 100%, but in this example, in this video, there's not many scenarios where I'm seeing where it's not working. So you see, like right here, we have a lower high followed by a lower low. It changes color, you still get pips off of it. But in real life, you're not going to catch a bunch of pips on every trade that you take. You're going to have some losses. So let's just take it with that and move forward. But as you can see, very simple to understand as far as how to enter. And you see where you put your stop losses. Your stop losses are always going to go where the labels are. And you follow that, you go for your rewards to risk, and then there's your trade. So it makes a very complex, that's why I like Elite Algo. It makes a very complex scenario, a very complex trading system. And it took me years to understand market structure in a very high level way. It takes something like that and simplifies it, puts it to you in black and white, in this case, green and red. It makes it very easy. The dashboard makes it easier. It lets you know what the trend strength is. It lets you know what the trend is. It lets you know the trend on other time frames. So that way you don't have to go back and forth like how I had to do when I was starting out trading, going from time frame to time frame just to make sure I'm in the right place in the markets. So with this strategy, I believe that you'll have a great result from it if you follow the rules. Make sure you're consistent with the rules. Replay this video if you're not understanding all the rules. And I want to see in the comments, let me know your results from using the strategy. Let me